Hello, OT friends, and welcome to the Uncommon OT series. I'm Patricia and I'm your host, a Filipino-American, native New Yorker, currently based in Los Angeles, bulldog mama, and an uncommon occupational therapist myself for the past 22 years. On this podcast, you will hear me proudly feature the unique careers of occupational therapy practitioners working in non-traditional and role-emerging practice areas, settings where OT is uncommon. I invite you to receive a dose of OT inspiration, to learn, to think outside of the box, and to be energized and motivated to follow in these unconventional paths. Happy listening! Before we dive into today's episode, I want to highlight and extend a special thanks to TrueLearn and Picmonic, our sponsors. Picmonic is a visual mnemonic learning tool that's been research proven to increase retention and help students ace their exams. It uses audio-visual learning and intelligence-based repetition algorithms that really help with long-term retention while studying. It is an excellent learning resource and study aid for OT and OTA students. Picmonic has built a better way for students to prepare for tests, whether you're studying for classes or getting ready for the NBCOT exam. Try it for yourself and sign up today using the link in the show notes and using the code TRANSITIONSOT to score a discount of 20% off of your Picmonic membership. Happy studying! Merry Christmas and happy holidays, OT friends, and welcome back to this special feel-good episode where you'll hear some of my uncommon OT guests talk about their favorite parts about being an occupational therapist. Personally, aside from working with people on what's meaningful to them, guiding students, making a difference, making change, and using my creativity to do so, one of my current most favorite parts about being an OT is the diversity. Learning about the diversity in our profession and our potential. Currently, I have the pleasure of being able to speak with occupational therapy practitioners, my guests, who are just that, right? Like they are practicing in diverse settings. They are serving diverse populations and communities and in a diverse way. So I cannot even express enough how excited I am about how we're expanding in this way as a profession and how I'm able to highlight that fact through the podcast. So let's hear what some of my uncommon OT guests have to say about their favorite parts about being an occupational therapist. What is your favorite part about being an OT and why?
The aspect of helping someone. Just seeing the light bulb go on, and for someone to be able to engage in an activity that they were once that they lost the ability to do, or they're trying to regain that ability, and I can teach them something that moves them into that direction where they are starting to feel hopeful that, oh, I can do this again. That's the part about occupational therapy that I love.
Yes, love that too.
My favorite part about being an OT is that you get to be very creative. I've worked it across a couple of different settings and I've seen a lot. And then now I feel equipped to be an entrepreneur. And I think that my OT mind never really turns off.
Ooh, my favorite part about being an OT is really working with my clients and seeing progress or just seeing the connections that they're making and watching the skills translate over. So really seeing the clients integrate and adapt the skills. That's probably the best part for me. Like when I'm able to really provide support and just facilitate the skills that they already have and build on that, and when I see the clients get it, you just see a light bulb.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. That's my favorite part. Yeah.
I love the diversity and the flexibility within the profession. I work in pediatrics. I also work in tech, and I have been able to shift and adjust my passions. They say that over a career, you will change your profession or you'll change your job multiple times. And I feel like you can do that with an OT. You could be a hand therapist, or you could be in acute care, and then you could do pediatrics, and you're still an OT, and you're still applying those same principles. And so you can shift and adjust your career path based on your interests and as your life moves along. So I find as I have developed more of an interest in mental health and coaching, I find I'm bringing more of those pieces into working with families and adjusting what I offer. And I love that I can still do that within the scope of being an occupational therapist.
Yes.
So actually, I love to do spicy research in terms of like the
Spicy.
harder the topics, the more I like it.
Okay.
And also, I like a lot of moving parts.
Same creativity, so that I'm always updating and using actual logical skills and creativity every single day. It's not boring. So
Yeah.
OT makes me feel alive, feel fresh every day. So I'm like looking forward, what will come next tomorrow, even though it's the same client, but how can I change that obstacle course? How can I use this new cutting skills or new worksheet, etc. So it's creativity, the same that makes me happy about OT.
I think really discovering people is one really favorite part, and that allows you to be creative and meet people where they are. I love that we're a profession that's not the same intervention to every person, and that the part of the challenge of being a great occupational therapy practitioner is finding that passion and occupation that person values and helping them achieve it.
I just like the variety of it. My career is the perfect example of the taking advantage of the variety that OT can offer. I've worked in almost every setting, I feel like sometimes. And that's probably what I like the best. I just haven't been able to get bored.
Okay. A lot. But I think I stayed in occupational therapy because the central or the cornerstone of this profession, discipline, is occupation. And occupation is an everyday thing that people do. And because of that, I was allowed to do a lot of different things and not just boxed into doing one thing, because there is one path in becoming an OT. No, since we are engaged, or our main mission is to help people work in different occupations, then that allows us to really do a lot of things beyond one can imagine. So yeah, and that's why we're here in this podcast.
Yes. 1000%. And I love that part about being an OT too.
My favorite part about being an occupational therapist is the idea that the story changes every time you meet somebody. It's a different story. And what you have to offer can be life-changing, and it's different too. It's always exciting. It's challenging, and I love that, and I think that's why we all love it, because it's diverse. It's changing every day, so it's interesting. It's never dull. So it keeps you learning.
I love that about our profession too.
I feel like I love learning, and I feel like as an OT, there's so much you can continue learning throughout the profession, and so many ways to expand your knowledge, whether that's like neuro or physiological, or right now I'm learning more about infants and feeding and oral motor development. And it's just so cool that we have access to so many avenues, you know, babies, mental health, adults, kids, different settings, like you're saying, Brooke, like the hospital or surf therapy. Yeah. And I just think it's so cool that we have the ability to always be able to learn so much more, and it's so expansive. Yeah. And it's so fun. You can just kind of take that lens and do whatever, which is what I love about it.
Yeah. It's a really great answer. Like I was thinking like the same thing. Like I really love the aspect of that we get to learn. And if you wanted something different, you could learn something totally new and go a different direction. I'll say something else instead. I really love the aha moments that you see when you work with a patient, an athlete, a child, a client, and you see them be able to do something for the first time that they haven't been able to do. And you see their face light up and they're like, oh my God, I never thought I'd be able to do this again. That's like the perfect aha moment, the best part of what we do and why we do it. And so I really love seeing those aha moments in the people we serve.
My favorite part about being an occupational therapist is the freedom to do the things with my clients that they love to do and the things that they enjoy doing on a daily basis. So when I first wanted to become an OT, I shadowed someone who was working with clients on playing basketball. Another client, they were cooking biscuits and gravy. And then another group setting, they were making Christmas crafts of Christmas ornaments. So I loved doing those things because I love to do all those different types of occupations. So I immediately knew I wanted to be an OT for that reason.
Yeah, I think that's also one of my reasons, but I think the reason for me is that at the end of the day, and whether that be like the end of my career or the end of my life, I want to be able to look back and say, like, I had a job that allowed me to change people's lives, allowed me to help people and make a difference. And, there's a lot of other careers out there that give people job satisfaction. But I don't think that they would give me job satisfaction if I didn't get to every day make a difference. And so that's the one thing about OT that I really appreciate is, getting to make a change for someone.
My favorite part personally about being an OT probably is that it challenges me to constantly be learning new things that I use in my own life too. So it's kind of almost allowing me personal and professional development continuously. It's sort of not something that's, I don't get bored in it because there's so many different areas you can work in, and every human that I get to interact with as an OT is different and encourages me to learn new ways of interacting with them. So that's probably my favorite. And then the other would be, I do really enjoy seeing people's lives change with just a little bit of intervention and mostly their own ideas, really, that I'm sort of facilitating them come up with. I just love seeing that ability to make change happen.
And that wraps up another inspiring episode of the Uncommon OT series. Connect with me at www.transitionsot.com. And don't forget to sign up to be part of the Transitions OT community. By doing so, you'll receive my latest compiled list of uncommon OT practice settings, the latest news on mentoring offerings, uncommon OT live events, non-traditional OT resources, and more. You may also follow me on my social media pages on Instagram and LinkedIn. And if you love this episode, head on over to Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts to follow, rate, and leave a review. I also ask you to consider pledging your support to my Passion Podcast project by being a patron on Patreon. It is very much appreciated. Sending big OT love. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.